Yo, what's up, droners? B here, and welcome to another awesome edition of Droner News. We have DJI releasing new apps for the drones. We have drone highways in Singapore and a lot of other good things. So let's just get into it. So coming in at number one, we have a team in Singapore, a drone team in Singapore of researchers at Nanyang, Technical University. They are creating a traffic highway for drones. And they're really forward thinking with this because what they're doing is they're saying that there's going to be drone deliveries, there's going to be a lot of applications for drones doing things for us that are going to be flying autonomously, and there's going to be congestion. And they're creating a system that will pretty much geofence the drones into specific highways or areas that they are allowed to fly. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of technology that needs to happen, with the avoidance technology so drones don't hit each other and all that. But what they're creating is the ability for the drones to stay in the certain areas and be able to fly over densely populated areas in designated spots, which is huge for what drones are going to be doing, because we do know drones are what make anything fly. That's what makes them fantastic. And they're saying, well, if everything's going to fly, then it needs to have some order, just like the things on the ground. So I'm really excited about this. The bar is super high. And obviously the technology is in its infancy, but this is kind of the future of what it's going to look like for drone pilots that are flying things to people all the time. So stay tuned. Coming in at number two, this is one of my favorite stories about drones I've heard in a while. It is a small country it's called Guyana. I'm so bad with names. It's in South America, and it's pretty much 80% trees. It's like a rainforest, right? And there's a problem with the rainforest being logged illegally. There is a certain amount that it can happen, but there's a lot that shouldn't. And the tribes, their job is to protect that. Like they're like, this is our forest, you know, and they're like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna protect it. And what they did to do that is they watched a bunch of videos on YouTube on DIY, how to build your own drones. And they built a fixed wing drone that they've been using to help enforce the policies that the government has put in place for the logging procedures. And it works. It works. They built it. It looks like a styrofoam drone. And what's even funnier is, I shouldn't be laughing at it, but I can't help it. Watch the drone fail videos. But either way, they crashed it a bunch when they first built it. And it's like epic because it's a really fast fixed wing drone. This thing moves, and when it crashes, it's like it hits. It really hits the ground. But either way, really impressed with what these guys are doing. They're saving the environment with the drones. They're building them on their own just based on watching YouTube videos. And they're just doing good things with drones, which I love. So check it out. The video is amazing, and I support them 100%. I hope they continue to do it, and the loggers keep doing what they're supposed to be doing. Coming in at number three. I'm not excited about this because my cameraman's making me say this, and I trust my cameraman, but I'm not happy about it. It's drone sweaters. Danielle Baskin created a company where she's selling for $189 a piece. Yeah, $189 a piece. A completely functionless sweater that you can put on your drone. It does not keep your battery warm. It does not make your drone fly better. It does not do any of those things. But, you know, honestly, there is one good perspective you can take on this, the cameraman just told me about, is that instead of getting, in the previous Droner News, there's guys that are putting gold plates on drones that apparently work, that cost thousands of dollars. Well, if you don't want to customize it in that way, or get the stickers that cost a lot less than this too, there's a middle ground. You could put a sweater on your drone. Yay. Now you have a unique drone that has a sweater on it. I don't know, actually, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, cameraman, is it? Yeah. Coming in at number four, we have another drone that is a drone that makes people fly. Yeah, this is like a passenger drone that is being developed by an Israeli tech company. And it's supposed to be available by 2020. It's expensive as shit. It's $14 million for it, but it's supposed to be able to fly over 100 miles an hour under power lines, between buildings, and, you know, like a speeding bullet in the sky with a red cape. Either way, the goal is for humanitarian and military uses, so it's like, I guess, a smaller helicopter, basically. But it looks pretty cool, I guess. And, you know, there's a couple of them that I've already reviewed, like the E-Sheen and all that. By review, talked about, because obviously I have not flown in a drone car. But check it out. I mean, like I said, it carries up to 1,100 pounds. That's a lot. That's a couple people, or one really big person. And yeah, it's good. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm really excited to see how far it comes, because I kind of want to do that. Coming in last but not least, we have DJI's new app called the GS Pro. This app is pretty cool. It's the first time DJI has released an app for its drones that is specifically meant for autonomous flight and mapping. Really easy to use. It actually kind of reminds me a lot of Drone Deploy. I've actually got to play with it a couple days ago, which I probably should have filmed, but maybe I'll do that eventually. Either way, I got to play with it, and pretty much you can create a map on your iPad, because this app is only for iPads. You can download an app to your iPad and it will pretty much like make a map in an area that you want it to survey. It'll autonomously fly your drone over a grid pattern that will take pictures of that area. It will do 3D mapping and it'll do waypoints, points of interest. So if you want your drone to autonomously fly and say, I want it to go in a circle around this place while I fly the camera, aka like an Inspire or even a Phantom where I turn it while it's doing it, it makes it kind of so that you can do a two-person, flight or two-person camera move with one person. But the real thing that you want to play with is the mapping technology here. Is that DJI is jumping into the mapping game. Like I told you, Drone Deploy has been on it. Their mapping technology works really, really well. I haven't had in-depth experience with this yet, but I'm gonna play with this some more. Maybe perhaps we'll do a video about it. Either way, I'm a huge fan of drone mapping, and I think this is cool that DJI is getting involved because it makes you trust what's going on more. In the sense of like, oh, I have a third-party app that crashes the drone. But if it's DJI apps, we know the DJI apps work. We know they test them, and we know that it's going to work. It's not going to be anything bad. So it's worth checking out. I'm going to look into it more. My biggest recommendation for it, if you're going to get it, is that you use an iPad that actually has the cell signal instead of just a regular one that has Wi-Fi, because you're going to need your GPS location, and that's a problem I ran into when I was playing with it. Droners, thank you so much for checking out this week's edition of Droner News. And if you want to learn more about Droner News and things like that, you click here. We have our intro video up there, which is always awesome to watch. And make sure you do a thing for us and subscribe, because that allows us to continue doing what we're doing. We love it, we love you, and make sure you do what you always need to, which is stay fly.